Hi. Okay, we're going to try this again. I keep getting cut off from being live. Anyways, I just tried to have a parenting visit with Lilia, and I couldn't stop crying because I've been told that even though we have a trial on Thursday, and even though this case has progressed so far from having no findings, from me doing everything they've asked as far as going to counseling since last July, I did all the testing they wanted, all the counseling, proved I had no mental health. We made it a settlement agreement. We've done that. I've done everything. But now I should, and none of this has made sense. It's infuriating, and the stuff that I've dealt with and the lies that I've caught people in, the injustice is ending. And the fact that my children are being hurt and I haven't seen my daughters. So I try to have a parenting visit with her. And I couldn't stop crying. And they're like, oh, you need to do parenting classes. I've already done that. We already completed that last year and just now. And then they're like, okay, and then you have to do 6 more months of counseling. I've already done counseling because they're like, you're getting worse. How is someone supposed to deal with all this injustice? I haven't seen my oldest daughter in almost a year. I haven't talked to her in about 5-6 months now for no reason, because there's no findings in this case. I only get to see my youngest daughter 4 hours a week, even though she's been requesting and asking for more time. I haven't done anything, and I've been being treated and made out to look like it's complete defamation of my character that I have abused my children when I have never done that. So I couldn't stop crying this morning. I am so angry, and I have people that are trying to get me mad and upset, like when I talk to them and I'm trying to explain things to them, and they're like, Tara, stay on subject. You're not, oh my God, you're not listening. You know what? People need to stop trying to make me look like I'm explosive or mad, because I am mad, and I have every right to be. I have been lied about. I have now child protection is actually allowing my ex-husband to finally kill me in my daughter's life. They are letting him finally get that knife in my head from years ago. I mean, that is what's happening. And I'm so mad. And it's like everything I've done in child protection, it's like I can't do anything right. I've done the appointments. I've done the mental health exam. I passed that. Even with the collateral, which the initial investigation letter said there was no preponderance of evidence to prove that. And there's no need for child protection. We should have never had a trial. We should have never had a hearing, rather. And now we're going to trial, even though we already did a settlement agreement and I agreed and did and followed everything. So I can't do anything right. I can't do anything right. I'm like, it's not silenced. And it's disgusting. And it happens to other people. And it's heartbreaking. So all I said, I'm sitting there trying to eat a bagel with my daughter, and I'm crying, and she's looking at me, and, and the girls are going to have to go on the stand this week, and they should, because everything they've said has been twisted and manipulated, and I don't want them talking in the judge's chambers. I want them to go on the stand. So therefore, I have no makeup on. I've been crying all day because I can't stop. I mean, this is evil. And that's what I said to my daughter. I'm like, well, look, mom's crying because I'm really sad. My girls, and that's what they say. You tell them the truth. That's what you do. And then I'm, away from me. I mean, that's what Todd did on the phone when I asked her, don't you think it'd be good for us to do family counseling? And hung up the phone, ripped it away from her. And that was in November. And I haven't talked to her since. So everything I do, I can do no right. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter. They make it impossible. Literally. So we're going to go into some truth here. This is from March 2018 from Ella Rose. Why my mom is amazing. Because I made her write a letter. She was yelling at Lilia one day. So part of my parenting skills, I made her write a letter to apologize to her. And then she also went on to write this. And it was so sweet. So I found these as I was looking through files of stuff. Why my mom is amazing. My mom is amazing because she is incredibly strong and smart. She stands up to things that aren't right. She helps others on their bad days and tries to do her very best to love and support me and Lilia. She is one of the prettiest people I know, and all of my friends think so too. Oh, thanks, Rosie. I love you. I miss you so much. Even when we test and push her, she tries to figure out the problem and solve it. She is literally the light to my dark days. She scares away my fears, and then she helps me realize why I shouldn't be afraid. I love you, Mom. I love the little things you do to lead us in the right direction. I love you for you. Love ER. That was March 2018. So just a little over a year ago. Just my sweetheart. I mean, seriously. Just a sweetheart. Remember we were walking down the street in Chicago to go to the parade, and I have a video of it, and I looked at her because she had accidentally spilled coffee on my winter jacket, so I had a jean jacket and a sweater on, and I was like, do I look stupid? Does it look okay? Because it's freezing out here, and, you know, I'm wearing a jean jacket. I feel silly. She's like, Mom, we look like models. Just, I love you. She's just my sweetheart, and I miss her, and this is killing me. I mean, you know, imagine being the mom that's fought so hard and done everything, literally raised your kids by yourself, and then now I'm being accused of being unstable and abusive when I am not unstable, but what parent would be beside themselves in absolute pain in this situation? When you're being lied about, when things are twisted in court, when social workers and your ex-husband have the police break into your house and get your confidential information against the law to use in the child protection case. When counselors don't adhere to the fact that I have full physical custody and joint legal custody, and even the social worker told them, yeah, you have to call her back. And then later on, as this progressed, they try and be like, the kid shouldn't talk to her mom at all. All of this has been very violent and abrupt and so unjust. And my girls are being hurt. No one thinks about them. How do you just think, I don't need a parenting supervisor. We don't need that. I haven't hurt my children. I haven't done anything to them. And I'm being treated like a violent criminal. And it's not okay. If I yell, I do know how much crap I get from people every day that try to get me upset, that try to make me look unstable. I mean, literally. And then if I stand up for myself, oh my God, call the police. She's getting violent. She's mad. Who wouldn't be mad in this situation? Who wouldn't be beside themselves? We don't need the government to rip my kids away. I haven't done anything. I shouldn't be treated like this. I don't deserve to be treated like this, and neither do my daughters. And this is a cute letter Ella Rose wrote in apology to Alilia last year, March 2018, after she wrote that cute letter to me when I made her apologize. Why my sister is amazing. My sister is the strongest and bravest 9-year-old I know. When something isn't working for her, she'll let you know. Like, nah, girl. I love you, Rosie. Better fix that shiz. She shoots for the stars when she wants to accomplish something. It's her way or the highway. We know that. Alilia's the boss, right, Baba? I love you. I'm sorry that happened today. I just couldn't stop crying, and I wanted to tell you what I was feeling, because this is evil. What about this is good? What about this is wholesome and truthful? Nothing. It's evil. It's the opposite of good. Why would a visiting supervisor get mad if I talk about that? And I just said, this is evil. I didn't say, I was just like, well, we have the trial coming up. And that's why I'm crying, because I've already been told, oh, they're going to transfer your parenting rights. The judge has already decided. Then why are we having a trial? She's totally capable. When she wants something, she can get it. When you're sad, she'll be there for you. She'll stick by your side during the best or worst of times. Bubba, I'm sorry for insulting you sometimes and fighting against your opinions. I truly do love you and your caring, outgoing, bossy, independent, beautiful self. I hope our fighting can stop being harsh and we can live side by side peacefully. Love, Ella Rose. It was March 2018. Good job, Ella Rose. That's so cute. My Rosie. Imagine having to sit there and having to stomach that. And I have to prepare for another trial, which I've already done everything that Child Protection has asked me to. And I'm mad. And oh my God, how do you keep it together when you're doing everything for your kids and you have people? It's like the state is supposed to put families back together, but they have done nothing to do that. And everything I've done, and you think you're making progress, they're like, that's not good enough. Oh, no, jump over here. Oh, no, not too high. Jump through a burning hula hoop on a Tuesday. No, I'm sorry. Oh, we forgot about that. We didn't read our paperwork. We're sorry. We forgot. Oh, we wrote a new order that wasn't based off of a prior order. Sorry, we didn't do our diligence. That's your fault, not ours. Oh, your kids will suffer too. We're going to reward and let your ex-husband finally kill you. You finally killed you. Okay, now last June 4th, Todd filed this order. The same day, he filed a order for protection in Ramsey County with my mom and my little sister. That also happened to be the morning after we had a child support hearing where the judge told him that he would have to, he would be held in contempt of court because he hadn't provided a document after 2 months. And if he didn't provide it, his child support would increase to prior, like at least double, because his child support was cut in half just at his request in 2014. In half. They just cut in half. Because due to his conviction for trying to kill me, he couldn't get a job, he claimed. So they cut his child support in half, and he just got a job. Yeah, like 5 years later, he finally just got a job. So there's this whole thing from Ramsey County to file order for protection last June 4th. So after that child support hearing, he went and filed this in Ramsey County, and then this child protection case in Hennepin County. He's always been fueled by money. Because he hasn't paid for anything, for all their extracurriculars. Nope, I paid for it. This was denied in Ramsey County right away. They were like, no, not happening. We know this case. We know this family. We know this man. You know, he's violent. He's been trying to bring her down. He's brought her in and out of court. Let's see. Where are the court registries? Okay. Anyway, it was denied. Motion denied. In Ramsey County. But Hennepin County's like, hey, let's run with this. Let's go. Balls to the walls. Let's rip this woman apart. Let's find something wrong. Anyway, so we have three packets like this of court file registries in Ramsey County, mostly filed by Todd since like our divorce in 2011 or his arrest in 2010. We've been in and out of court an insane amount of time, and we're all so sick of this. And the thing is that he keeps at it because he knows eventually he would win. So basically right now he's winning. He's won. He's gotten what he knows I care about. And my daughters. That's on the cycle of abuse. Anyway, okay, so June 4th, okay? So last May, so I was a teacher, unlicensed teacher, at my girls' school district. May 29th, 2018. This is the parent, remind you that they want to transfer rights to. This is who has temporary custody of my children. I have full physical custody in joint legal. I've had full physical custody since, let's see, when he was arrested, he had supervised visits for about 6 months. After that, I was awarded full physical custody, and I've done so successfully for the last 8 years or whatever. Anyways, okay, Todd did not pick up A'Lelia from school as per the usual on Tuesdays. I left work to pick up A'Lelia because she sat alone in the front lobby for an hour and 20 minutes until I got there. A'Lelia said she told Todd that she no longer had Chinese class, and he knew that time to pick her up. When I called Todd, he was unavailable to get her, so I had to leave work right before this child protection case opened. All right. June 2nd, 2018. This is when, so before June 4th, he also denied me of my parenting time. Oh, here's our register of court actions in Ramsey County. Packet 1. Seriously, just all registers, all register of actions. There's a list. Page after page after page. Court registers in Ramsey County. Seriously, they're all different. They're not the same. They're not duplicates. 2015, 2014, 2017. I mean, honestly, there's a ton. Okay. So in this case, there have been HIPAA violations, and actually they have this person set to come on trial next week as a witness, even though, because after they tampered with them, because my mom and Todd violated my HIPAA rights and called the clinic where I was and got information, private patient information about myself and what was going on. After that, they caused a lot of trouble for me. And it's like, what is the deal? What's with my mom? I mean, she's just been very, very mean. I mean, like, then my dad was visiting, and her and my sister were like, is your dad left yet? And then Todd told my dad, if you know what's good for you, you should leave town. So my mom texts me, Tara, is your dad gone yet? I was like, you know what? Don't talk to me. You're evil and you're toxic. And she goes, fuck you, Tara. And I was like, see, exactly to my point. You're abusive and it's toxic and I don't want to deal with it. Okay, fuck you, Tara. I mean, I am not trying to be angry and I'm not trying to swear at people, but I have had it with all of this, because I am a good person and I'm not what everyone makes me out to be, but I am dealing with a lot. And then I have the pressure from the court and I've done everything and I can't do anything right. And then it's like, oh, now you need parenting classes. Where were they? What about Todd? I mean, how does this transfer onto me? Okay, here's May 25th, 2018. Lilia was very upset and not at me, but angry when I picked her up from school today after being at Todd's house. I loved her up, but she would not let me talk to her at all. When we got Ella Rose and she seemed okay, she told me about Dad smoking pot again, which is concerning. We went out to eat and Lilia stayed angry and argumentative with me. I asked what was wrong over and over again, but by the end of dinner, she was finally talking to me. Lilia and I went to see her favorite movie, The Greatest Showman. I held her hand and we shared treats. She crawled into my lap and cuddled for the rest of the movie. She then said she was sorry for being mean. I told her I knew she would come around again. And I was happy because I missed my buddy. We were good. And that's for me. And this, again, is right before the court case. So here's what I'm dealing with. Something's going on at Todd's. The girls are coming home. Ella Rose is coming home going, Mom, Todd, like, Dad's smoking pot in the garage. And Lilia is coming home extremely upset. Todd's forgetting to pick them up at school. And I'm having to leave work to go pick them up. I mean, it was like already... so you can only imagine all the years being the responsible parent, being the reliable one, being the one to make days and nights happen, even up to the point where he goes to child protection. I don't know. June 2nd, I called to talk to Ella Rose and Lilia today. Todd was trying to upset me and told me to take my meds that they are offering and stop refusing them. This is when I was at the doctor. Stop refusing to participate in the program. I was like, what are you talking about? How do you know what's going on here? I asked him how he would know what is going on here in detail if that were happening. He didn't say anything. He just realized he caught himself in another lie. He refused to let me talk to Lilia when I told him I knew he was recording and trying to get me upset, because that's what he does, and then he sends it to the court or whatever. He told me I was too upset to talk to Lilia. Like, who wouldn't be upset when someone knows exactly what you're doing when you're miles away from this person? I mean, it's a little creepy when they're like, do this, take meds. I haven't talked to you. So how do you even know anything about meds or anything? So that he violated my HIPAA rights. I mean, he busted himself out right there. After he told me he has had someone tell him that I have refused the meds because I don't need them and that my dad only wants to help me and has come around because I have money now. He was trying to manipulate me and hurt me so that I would get angry and he could use that against me. When I simply wanted to talk to my children and tell them what is really going on. This call happened after Pam had just talked to me in the workout room and said I should participate in the program, quote unquote. This is June 2nd, 2018 at 11:10 a.m. Let's see. Okay, last May 14th. May 14th, 2018. Ella Rose and Alilia came home from Todd's weekend. Ella Rose told me she thought Todd was smoking pot. She said he is going into the garage a lot more to smoke, but she said it was not a normal cigarette. She said she was sure he and Sarah, stepmom, are smoking pot. I told her I need to talk to him. She said she made me promise I wouldn't and became scared. I told her it was not okay. Ella Rose said, quote unquote, it's not a big deal. I told her it was. Alilia chimed in and said, Sarah, stepmom, was smoking a lot lately. Todd and Sarah, she said, the house always smells like smoke, but it's more smelly now because they are smoking so much. End quote. That was May 14th, 2018. And I also have that conversation recorded too. All right. Oh, here's another day Todd forgot to pick Alilia up from school. January 12th, 2018. Todd called the police on me after I asked him to pay a $70 late fee for daycare because he failed to pick Alilia up as scheduled. He seriously called the police on me. He just turned it into like this whole circus because I stood up for myself because I told the truth. I mean, this is like the Twilight Zone I live in. Like even today, I said to Alilia, Mom's crying because I'm really sad. I just feel sick to my stomach. I'm like, this is evil with what's going on in court this week. And that's it. We're ending the visit. I'm like, I'm crying. I'm upset. I am being blamed for things that I haven't done. And then you stand up for yourself. God forbid you actually stand up for yourself and tell the truth and talk about your feelings with your children. So then how violent and how disruptive is it for a visit person to rip a child away from their mom when you haven't seen them? I mean, honest to God, when I haven't seen her, this injustice is enough insanity for someone. Absolute injustice. And like no one else is held accountable except for me. Song, the CPS worker, and Todd can have the police come to my house when there's no threat to myself or others and break into my house and then get my private information from the leasing office. And then Song can file that in the court documents, and that's okay. And then we can proceed in this process and have court orders, which should be built upon. Yet I never went to the school to go to an extracurricular, and that's what the order said. However, I got banned from going to my daughter's schools, and I'm still banned from Ella Rose's life completely. I mean, this case has gone on, and there has been no procedural, lawful, judicial stream of what's happening. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do anything right. I literally can't. But however, Todd can, even though he's done everything wrong for a decade. I mean, this is what's so disgusting. All right, here's a letter from Ella Rose on May 5/15/2017. I would like to live with my mom. I want to get away from all the madness. My dad calls my mom crazy, insane, and other names. He once picked me up from track, demanding that I choose my acting group or track. I was overwhelmed. I started crying because I love both. When I asked him why, he said because they both land on his day. And in 5th grade, when I started to find an interest in basketball, they were going to do a school basketball team. I begged my parents for months. He said sure at first. Then he found out the practices, it landed on his day. So I couldn't do it. I can't go over to my friends in Woodbury on his weekends because it's too far to drive. So anytime my friends want to hang out on his weekends, I have to say, oh, I'm at my dad's. Or the time I was trying to get to my acting practice, he says, we all don't just circle around you and we all live in your world, quote unquote. That hurt a lot. I was trying to make an effort to go to SOS acting after, and then she'd call me crying after her and her stepmom have said that stuff to her. All right, here's for me, 5/15/2017. Yesterday, Ella Rose came home from Todd's house with an injured finger. He did not tell me what happened or how he treated it, or if he did. We had spoke on the phone several times over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday morning with no mention. She hurt her finger on Saturday, and tonight at 9 p.m., she could not move it, and it was swollen and black and blue. I emailed Todd to ask him about it, and I will wait to hear what he says. Tara McCannis. 2 weeks ago, Ella Rose came home with a cut from a vodka bottle that fell and sliced her foot at Todd's. She had a limp for a few days as she could not bend her toe. He did leave me a message about that. Just so many things that I've had to deal with. And they want to transfer my parenting rights to Todd and legal rights. Oh, they've already decided, by the way. I've already lost, even though I haven't gone to trial yet. Okay. Oh, here's another double click. I can't say anything like, girls, I feel sad. Or, I want to go to counseling, Ella Rose. Can we do that? Rips the phone away. I mean, everything. Like today, Alilia's ripped away from me because I'm crying because I feel sad because court's coming up. I feel sick to my stomach, and this is evil. Visit's done. We're leaving. She calls her stepmom and rips her away from me. Come on, Alilia, let's go. We have to leave now. I haven't done anything. Alilia and I are sitting there on a bench in a park outside eating bagels. That is violent, and that's doing more damage to my child than a mom talking about her feelings or this court case, which we're both involved in because we both have to be there on Thursday. More violent to rip a child away from their parent who they love and have trusted and who has fought for them and taken care of them their whole life. And now I'm being told that I have no rights to my kids, that I'm a horrible human being, a bad mom, a bad person, that I'm crazy, unstable, paranoid. I mean, all this stuff when I am dealing with things that I can't control. I can't control what other people do, but I know what I do, and I love my kids, and I've always been there for them and done everything. And because I get mad or angry, you can't hold that against someone. I mean, people, especially in this case, they're trying to make me look out that way because they didn't have a case to begin with. Now they're trying to build a case to cover their own butts. I mean, here's a lot of emails back and forth from like 2015. Todd not doing Alilia's patching for her vision, homework not getting done, me trying to switch the girls to an English speaking school so Alilia could get the educational help she needed. And I just said, somehow just knowing that my daughter that has a visual impairment is no longer struggling and failing in her daily life trumps anything else. Have a good day. He's like, to understand the seriousness of your actions, read the link I posted. I said, I can't take them tonight. And he's like, neglect. I said, this is neglect. You have the means to pay $500 per hour for your lawyer, yet you are not current with your daycare and child support responsibilities. I mean, that was always it. He's still in arrears, like $7,000 for daycare, childcare, but he could always pay $500 for a lawyer. You'll hear from my lawyer this week. So the neglect of children's needs is major. Sad that control is all that is important to you. I'm going to bring you to court. This is major. Get a lawyer. Todd, I am writing to let you know that the girls started at a new school. I mean, I had to finally do something after this was Alilia in first grade. We found out about her vision condition before kindergarten. She'd been suffering forever. I mean, this is when Ella Rose fell off the boat in like 2015. So I cut my leg on the propeller. It was deep and needed stitches, but Sarah and Dad, I was scared because it was bleeding a lot. It was still bleeding 3 days later, and Mom found out later, like 3 days later, and took me to the doctor. She said it should have gotten stitches, but it was too late. She did. She had a bleeding wound cut by his boat propeller for 3 days. I never heard about it. They never brought her to the doctor. It needed stitches. It didn't get stitches. Ella Rose, 5/29/17. I hate when I have to skip important things with friends or family just to go to my dad's house where we barely ever talk. If we do talk, it's nice, but sometimes he brings up Mom, and I'm sick of it. I want to be free to be able to experience new things and be able to do extracurricular activities without having to tell them, sorry, I can't because on these days, or just not being able to go at all. I want to live a life without weights on my shoulders or being afraid to speak up to him about being too verbally harsh on Alilia, or being able to give my opinion on a situation without being yelled at. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I've made my decision. I want to live with my mom. I would like to see him occasionally or have optional visits. Please don't show him this because I'm honestly kind of scared. Thanks, Ella Rose Walters. 5/29/17. And this is 9/24/14. Alilia dealing with Todd's emotional abuse. Yesterday morning, Alilia continued to cry. She came home Monday from school upset and on edge as she cried from Northeast Minneapolis to Woodbury. Finally, after an hour of crying about seemingly nothing, she responded to my pleas for her to tell me what was wrong. She said that Dad would not let her wear a skirt to school on Monday because it was too cold, although it was 73 degrees outside on Monday, when Ella Rose confirmed that Todd, their dad, refused to allow Alilia to wear a skirt and went to find Alilia sobbing in her bed and under her covers. I picked her up and hugged her and told her it would be okay. She could hardly breathe because of how long and hard she cried for already. She explained to me how important it was to look nice for school and wear skirts and dresses like her friends. Oh, cutie pie. I love you, Alilia. I love you so much. All of her skirts were at Todd's house, so we figured out another plan. She was very stressed when she cried yesterday. She has acted like this. She's not acted like this yet this school year. I had no idea what to make of her painful cries, but just kept asking her for answers and gave her hugs and told her it would be okay. She often comes home from Todd's house upset and distressed and just de-stresses by acting out and doing certain things. I won't embarrass her around the house or crying as she did the past 2 days. 2 days she cried. That was September 24th, 2014 at 3:10 p.m. Homework was not done at Dad's, 10/7/14, 10/6/14. Ella Rose was late doing homework last night because she told me she did not complete her homework at Todd's over the weekend. Ella Rose told me she forgot her math and science book in her locker at pickup time, and she told Todd she needed to get it, but he would not let her. She is now behind on homework and to start the week and tired and late to school this morning because she did not get to bed until late due to homework. It was 12:20 p.m. I mean, we've been dealing with this stuff for years. So imagine being afraid for your girls. Imagine finally being murdered by the person who wanted to murder you and was convicted for it with a weapon in front of your children not too long ago in the same decade. Tuesday, November 4th, 2014. Ella Rose asked me again tonight if Daddy loves her. She is still sad that he will not let her join basketball at school because her games would be on Wednesday nights, his night. She is showing signs of anger towards me and Alilia and acting out as a result of the emotional abuse Todd is displaying towards her. She feels unloved and unimportant to him. Her actions since coming home from Todd's on Monday have included swearing at me, which never happened, really. I mean, usually unless he made them mad, calling her sister swear words and yelling a lot. Tonight, I finally got her to tell me what was wrong. So signed it, Tara McKennis, 11/4/14. All right. December 1st, 2014. Todd has not paid for childcare in over 2 years. Also, he refuses to arrange for childcare on his days and leaves them list to me. Todd's parenting time, when my family helped him out by watching our daughters for him, Todd refuses to pay for childcare, so I am the one that always has to arrange for care, even on Todd's days, even when he is unemployed, because he's been unemployed for the last 5 years. My mom and sister have watched our daughters on non-school days and sick days. Todd even claims he is busy, although he's unemployed. He would never help. Even though I would have to take sick time off of work, I would usually either have to go unpaid or use my sick time. Nope, can't do it. He's sitting home half the time taking care of his other child, but he wouldn't take care of our children together just to spite me, just to cause trouble for me. All right, 4/18/14. Friday and Saturday, Todd skipped his parenting time. Ella Rose cried for a long time. Alilia was very upset, did not cry, but started urinating around my house. Sorry, Bubba. That was a long time ago. They cried often after this at night to me and talked about Dad does not care about them. Todd had Ella Rose and Alilia Walters over the Thanksgiving holiday from Wednesday, November 26th at 1:30 p.m. until Monday, December 14th after school. I was informed by both daughters that Todd did not patch Alilia's right eye at any time during the visit as per doctor's orders. I told Todd in a phone conversation exactly what was to be done for her therapy every day, but he did not buy a patch to do this part of her therapy, which is to be done 2 hours per day. He never did it at his house. He wouldn't do it at all. He never came to the visits, never came to the doctor. Not the therapy that we went to twice a week for 2 years. We just had her condition reassessed and it has gotten worse, yet Todd does not do the therapy as prescribed. Tara McKennis. Ella Rose and Alilia both confirmed that Alilia did not wear her patch because Dad does not have a patch. 8/7/2014. Tonight, Ella Rose started crying in the car. She told me her head was itchy and that she had a bug crawl out of her hair at Dad's house the night before. And she showed it to him and told him she thought she had lice. But he told her she was fine. You're fine, kid. I don't know what that bug is. It crawled out of your hair. That happens every day, right? He dropped her off at summer camp anyway. She was miserable all day and now crying in my car. As soon as we got home, I checked her head for lice. I could see that she had it. I checked her on Tuesday morning, but did not see anything at that time. I signed it. She brings her to summer camp with lice. Honest to God. I mean, you see bugs crawling out of your child's hair. Yes, that's lice. It's not freaking, I don't know what else. Thursday, July 31st, 2014. Tonight, Ella Rose met with her big sister from Big Brother, Big Sister. They walked up to the library and had ice cream, then came home. Meredith, Ella Rose's big, told me that Ella Rose felt like she had a fever. So I felt Ella Rose's head and confirmed that she felt extremely warm. When I took her inside, I took her temperature. She told me that she told Dad, Todd, this morning that I did not feel good and felt hot, but he did not check her temp. He does not own a thermometer. So he ignored her and dropped her off at day camp. Her temperature was 103 degrees Fahrenheit at 7 p.m. She was sick all day at camp, and Todd did not bother to tell me she was not feeling well or check for a fever. Poor girl. I love you, girls. These are all documents I had to use in a prior court hearing or for a parenting consultant back when he brought me for trying to get Alilia the best education due to her specific situation. I mean, normal parents would look at doctor's notes and be like, okay, this is what's going to be best for your child right now, not 2 years later, not after fighting with your co-parent. You're supposed to co-parent with logically. These are doctor's notes. These are test results. Not 2 years later, having to go through all this. We each had to pay, a couple grand at least, miss work, everything, go through stress, just to finally have the PC, the parenting consultant, look at it and be like, what's the dispute? This is absolutely straightforward and logical. Mom wins. They're going to an English-speaking school. I mean, these doctor's notes and everything support that. Why are you even here? Okay, 1/13/15. Alilia and Ella Rose confirmed that Todd does not patch Alilia over the weekend or on Wednesday evening. When I asked Todd via text message, Todd stated that he did not know he needed to patch Alilia with. He needed to do patching with Alilia. Oh my God. We had known about her condition for at least a year at that point. We are to do 2.5 hours per night of therapy, 2 hours of patching, and 30 minutes of other therapy. Todd has not done this with Alilia. He has not taken her to any therapy sessions at Blank Eye Care Clinic or at all since this was diagnosed in August of 2013. Talking 2 years later, he's telling me he had no idea he had to do this patching with his daughter. This is what it was like talking to him. He had already seen all the doctor's notes and everything, but then he was claiming he didn't know. He had no recollection of this condition of his daughter's. God. I just put, the condition will not improve without this therapy every day. Tara McKennis, 1:15:15. I mean, seriously, this is what I've dealt with for years. So you can imagine now, I'm trying to like read these. It's so hard to communicate this when you feel like already you've lost and no matter what you've done, you can't win. I just went and picked up like more counseling that I've done as per court order because I'm doing it currently. And then I also did it right away when this case was open, and the MMPI, which came back with no mental health diagnosis, although they're still pressing forward. Like, why is the state so adamant at trying to make me look crazy and trying to make me crazy? I mean, because all this stuff is a lot of crazy making. And you can tell me one parent that wouldn't absolutely be furious and livid and just have your blood boiling with complete injustice because there's no law to this child protection stuff. It's like, we're over here. Okay, just kidding. Now you're here. Now we're there. Oh, no, we're over here. No, we're down here. We're up. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, you can't do anything right. Oh my God, you raised your voice. You spoke about court to the kids, even though that's your whole life right now. And that's what's happening in a few days. And you already and they have to talk to the judge and, we have a trial. But, by the way, it's already been decided we're transferring the parenting rights to Todd because you've gotten worse. Okay, first and foremost, I've been going through a child protection case. I haven't seen my oldest daughter in a year. I haven't talked to her in 6 months. There's no reason. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no justice to it. I only get 4 hours a week for a visit with my little girl, and I am their primary caregiver, and I have been their entire life. And the only one that has protected them from this moron who claims after 2 years that he had no idea that he needed to do therapy with his daughter, which we were supposed to do for 2.5 hours every single day. I mean, this is how maddening it is, as you can imagine. All right. Then at this time, this was for another court hearing. I watched the girls, or had them, total of 23 days, sick days with the kids on Todd's days, and I missed work. These were all Todd's days that I had them. And it goes on to explain all the days, every date, like why they were sick. Every time they're sick, I took care of them. 10/28/2014, Ella Rose had a fever. 10/29/2014, today's day, Todd's day. I watched the girls, not watched them, but kept them with me. Missed work. He's not working though, mind you, at this time, not working. But I missed work. I missed out on pay, or I took a sick day. 10/30/2014, August 8th, 2014, they had lice. Non-paid day for me. It was Todd's day. August 21st, 2014, hand, foot, and mouth, home with ER, non-paid day for me. 2 more days, August 3rd and 4th. May 27th, 2014, another non-paid day for me. April 15th, 2014, strep, not paid for me. Todd's day. I watched the girls for him and took care of them while they're sick. Took them to the doctor, got the medication. Had the insurance set up because he wasn't working. He wasn't working. He was not working. He would just not do this stuff. He wouldn't co-parent with me. Okay. Where were we? Strep. Okay. 3/26/14, non-school day. Home with kids, not paid. 3/5/14, Todd's day. Again. Home with the kids. 3/4, stomach flu. I missed work. Todd's day. Oh, and then he'd go back at me in school and be like, look at all these days the kids miss. You're making them miss school. I'm like, those are sick days. What the hell? I mean, I'm like, oh my God. The insanity in all of this is just too much to bear when I have been the one doing everything for years. February 28th, 2014, sick day with kids, no pay for me. February 21st, 2014, no school, childcare. No school or childcare. It's Todd's day. Guess who got to watch them? Or I paid for the childcare, and then it was Todd's day. He was home, not doing any work, but I was still paying for it and bringing in the childcare. Why would they go to childcare if their parents at home? 14 sick days with kids since February. I took care of all days, even though Todd has been unemployed since May 1st of 2014. And then he just got a job literally last month since May 1st of 2014. He also knew that I did not get sick pay for the days I missed, but refused to share the burden. 6 sick days in May. Sorry, that's like a tongue twister. 6 sick days in May with daughters, 10/30/2014. May 14th, 2015, strep stomach flu, both girls. May 15th, 2015, Todd's Day, I watched the girls. May 19th, 2015, May 20th, 2015, May 21st, 2015, all Todd's Day. I took care of them, missed work. May 27th, 2015, stomach flu, girls, Todd's Day. I guess who took care of it? Me. Guess who didn't? Todd. He sat at home and did nothing. Literally nothing. He didn't even have his daughter, wasn't even born until October of 2015. Nothing. He was home alone and did nothing, not working, but I missed out on pay and took a sick day. Non-school days that myself or my family watched Ella Rose and Alilia on non-school days. No daycare for Todd. All dates below were Todd's parenting days. August 27th, 2014. August 3rd, 2014, October 3rd, 2014, October 17th, 2014, November 26th, 2014, December 26th, 2014, March 18th, 2015, March 20th, 2015, April 3rd, 2015. 8 days Todd skipped or did not show up for his parenting time since 4/2014. January 17th, August 29th, April 19th, 2014, 2015. This is a letter from Ella Rose, 5/29/17. I would like to live with my mom. I want to get away from all the madness. My dad calls my mom crazy, insane, and other names. I think I already read this. He once picked me up from track, demanding that I chose my acting group or track. I was overwhelmed. I started crying because I love them both. When I asked him why, he said, because they both land on his day. And in 5th grade, when I started to find an interest in basketball, they were going to do a school basketball team. I begged my parents for months. He said sure at first. Then he found out the practices. It landed on his day. So I then couldn't do it. I can't go over to my friends in Woodbury on his weekends because it's too far to drive. So anytime my friends want to hang out on his weekend, I usually have to say, oh, I'm with my dad. Or the time I was trying to get to my acting practice, he says, we all don't just circle around you. And we all live in your world, quote unquote. That's what she'd always cry me, like her mom, her stepmom, or her dad would say to her when she was trying to just get to track or her acting group. That hurt a lot. I was trying to make an effort to go back to SOS acting group after not being there for a long time. I hate when I have to skip important things with friends or family just to go to my dad's house where we barely ever talk. If we do talk, it's nice, but sometimes he brings up my mom and I'm sick of it. I want to be free to be able to experience new things and be able to do extracurricular activities without having to tell them, sorry, I can't on these days, or just not be able to go at all. I want to live a life without weight on my shoulders or being afraid to speak up to him about being too verbally harsh on Alilia, or being able to give my opinion on a situation without being yelled at. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I've made my decision. I want to live with my mom. I would like to see him occasionally or have optional visits. Please don't show him this, because I'm honestly kind of scared. Thanks, Ella Rose Walters, 5/29/2017. Because remind you, let's see. The girls were home when Todd threatened me with a knife. Ella Rose heard everything. She was in the room, and then he talked about me being dead and where the girls would go and how life would be without me. So, yes, the court is finally giving him that wish. They finally let him murder me, literally. And then I have all of Ella Rose's grades and report cards, good grades, Alilia's vision documents, care plan. Todd was given a copy of all of these. So when in 2015, 2 years after the diagnosis and care plan, and he pretended he had no idea, he was given all of it. giving all of it copies, and then he'd always be like, you didn't invite me, or you didn't give me this. Like, first of all, yeah, I let you know when the girls have things, but is that really my job to babysit you and be like, okay, Todd, now on this date, I'm inviting you to the girls', open house or conference. All right. There's emails, this way back, even with the divorce. The whole time, because he was already not doing homework with them, and they had to put in our divorce decree, like, if you have to do homework, otherwise the other parent will get, whatever. Here's December 17th, 2013. Todd, Ella Rose did not practice her spelling this week, and this is her worst grade on her report card. Also, Alilia did not wear her patch. This is from Ella Rose's teacher, 4/21/14. Good afternoon. I want to let you know that your child has not completed their online homework assignment. The assignment will close in class tonight. I said, thank you. This has happened between his house and my house. Lilia's kindergarten teacher. Just me communicating with her. I was the room mom for her. Hello, I meant to send this to you earlier today about Alilia and Ella Rose being tired today. They arrived home from Todd's dad's last night at 8 p.m. with their Alilia's entire homework packet undone. And Ella Rose's Chinese homework not completed. So Ella Rose and Alilia were up till 9:45 p.m. completing homework. They usually spend Sunday night at Todd's, but we are in a different arrangement this week. And this was huge because we lived, in Woodbury from Northeast Minneapolis, so they had to wake up at like 6 a.m. to go drive 20 minutes to the bus stop, wait at the bus stop, and then take an hour bus ride to school. So they're exhausted. They're up to like 10 o'clock at night, and they have to get up at like super early and work their butts off all day in an accelerated Chinese program. As you can imagine, this pattern at Todd's house is very detrimental to them and beyond frustrating to me. This is the third weekend in a row that Alilia has left Todd's house without her homework done on Monday morning. It's a pattern. It's been a pattern since the beginning. He also does this with Ella Rose and her homework, mainly English spelling homework, which is her worst grade in school. I cannot get him to study her spelling words with her on Wednesday nights and the weekends she is with him. I know Ella Rose is old enough to do this, but I do feel that it is on the parents to make sure that their children are doing their schoolwork. I am not telling you all I'm not only telling you all to let you know how the girls started their week tired, but also because I need the school's help with documenting these instances for court purposes, as this has been a pattern with Ella Rose and now Alilia starting school. I see the growing need. That was back on April 7th, 2014. So that was when Alilia was in kindergarten. And then that's where Todd and I are like sending emails back and forth, like, Todd, we need to switch Alilia's school. No, I'm getting a lawyer. He hasn't worked with me at all. He hasn't done the doctor's appointments. He hasn't done the homework. He hasn't done and this has been our life. And that's why it's so maddening to me, because I have mounds and mounds of paperwork and files, and no one should have to live like this. And I shouldn't have to be held accountable for his actions and be made to look like the bad person in the situation when I've done nothing but love and care and protect for my children. And because I haven't done anything except for get angry. And if I yell and swear, that doesn't make me a bad person. It means I'm in pain, and people and their unjust actions are causing that. And maybe they want to see me upset. I've had people in professional positions that shouldn't be argumentative with me that are. And I've had to call them out and be like, oh, I thought you were the professional. No matter what the circumstances are, you're still the professional. You don't get to try and make me look like I'm unstable or whatever, because I'm dealing with these situations. So in court, they're planning on having this guy from a clinic that I talked to that also deemed that I wasn't a threat to myself or others, that I didn't have a problem, and I was always free to go until Todd and my mom violated HIPAA, and my dad and I documented this. And I even have a text because my brother had come to pick me up and he was outside waiting to pick me up. And then they're like, oh, no, she can't go now. So they're trying to say that I was like, they made this, twisted it all up. Anyways, June 1st, 2018, I did not speak to my mom, nor did I give any permission to let her have access to my nurses here at any time or at the emergency room. The doctor told me the first day I was here that I'd be leaving on Friday and that he had no legal leverage to keep me here. He also told me that again today on 6/1/18. I called for my ride to drive 2 hours to get me, and the ride was outside. When I was notified by the nurse at 12:30 p.m. that I would not be able to leave today, my ride was here in town by that time. So my mom had called in, violated my rights, got information, as did Todd. And it's being twisted on me again, and who's held accountable? I've already proven that I don't have a mental health issue. I've already proven that I am a loving and stable parent. But when someone is like the injustice, it's just, oh my God. It's like, how do you even deny a parent, like as Todd has done and with Son? I mean, these are, so these counselors, like dealing with the counselors. Okay, here's the documentation in Song's notes. It says Song Tao. Okay, these are notes filed in court. This is why I ended the lease at my apartment and why I had to take a break for a while and stay with family. And now, I have a new place, but okay. I had talked to Todd and Song over the weekend because I wanted to talk to the girls on the phone, but Todd was holding that over my head. And if I called and he's like, oh, by the way, Lily goes, oh, Mom, guess what? We're moving school districts. I said, what? What are you talking about? No, you're not. Like, the Song and Todd have acted like I've been dead since the beginning of this. And then I was like, let me talk to Dad. He gets on the phone. Oh, yeah, Song said it's okay. We're moving districts. They had just moved districts the year before. So this year is a new district for them. The year before was a new district because we sold our house that we lived in, that I owned in Woodbury for 5 years, almost 6 years, and moved to Minnetonka to try to be closer to see if Todd would actually be a better parent involved in their lives. And guess what? No, he wasn't. He didn't show up to a back to school night for either of them. 2017, 2018 school year, he didn't show up for anything. He only called the police on me. He missed, he's 4 miles away from their school, and 2 times at least he forgets to pick Lilia up at daycare. And then when I ask him to pay the $70 late fee because he was a half an hour late, I get the police called on me. All right. So CPSW called Minnetonka police. They stated that a welfare check was done, but that her phone was found there, but she was not there. Okay. When do you do a welfare check? When you haven't seen someone and talked to them in days, and when they actually are a threat to themselves. I had already been seen by a psychiatrist, and he reported that, and it's documented, that I was not a threat to myself or others, and I have not been at any time, and I'm still not. That was all the information they provided to CPSW. Okay, that's not true. Let's see. Oh, okay. The police are doing a welfare check. This was 6/25. This is the weekend that Todd was calling me over and over. I was at work training at a second job, and he called me 4 times in a row. And I'd already called to ask to talk to the girls. He's like, nope, they're not here. He's calling me 4 times in a row. I was like, is there an emergency? What's wrong? I finally answered at work. I'm like, are you with the girls? Can I say hi to them? Can I talk to them? No. I'm like, why are you calling me 4 times in a row? You're sick, Tara. Let me come take you to the hospital. I'm like, Todd, I'm at work right now. You are insane. You are psychotic. Leave me alone and don't call me unless the girls can talk because I want to say hi to them. So then after that, this is the 3rd time he had called the police. I would hang up the phone, like on June 15th, on my birthday. I finally got to talk to Lilia for the first time. And that's when she says, oh, Mom, we're switching school districts on my birthday. I'm like, what? Why? You just switched districts last year. Oh, well, Song and Todd decided, apparently I'm dead. That's when Todd rips the phone away from me. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? And he hangs up. Oh, you can't talk. You're getting upset. And then he calls the police on me to do a welfare check. That's not what welfare checks are for. They're for when someone is suicidal and then you don't see them for like a few days or at least 24 hours, and then you call them, not to harass your ex because you finally have power over her with using the children for power and control. So let's see. Okay. Oh, the police. They entered the apartment. Well, the police says it appears she packed up and left, and that she put in her notice in on 6/9 to vacate. Why are the police getting that information without a warrant? They have no right to get my private information. They have no right to give it to Child Protection or to Todd, my ex-husband. They have no right. How does a social worker use that in her notes as a way to try and be like, oh, she's moving, she's gone. I was being harassed by Todd with the police. And yeah, I went to visit family because I needed a break, because already this whole case was like out of nowhere. Oh my God. And it's very maddening. It's just disgusting. So that's a violation of my civil rights. The police need a warrant. They can't just get your information and tell people your private information, like when you put in your notice to move out of your apartment. That's illegal. And it's in her notes. This is why I'm so mad. It's like, why is this person on the case? How does she not see that that's not okay? That is illegal. She has no right to do that. You don't own my life. This is the thing. And then they're like, oh, now they have No, I still have rights. I still have rights as a parent. And you can't terminate my parenting rights based off of all this mishap and crazy making hack job that's been going on. And it says, okay, 626. There's a lot of stuff around the apartment. Yeah, I was packing to move. Duh. And she was not there. They had the locks drilled out. And so she would need a new key to get in. And so far, she has not asked for access to her apartment. Again, the apartment is giving out illegal information. That's my private information. They had no right to give that out. She had no right to ask for that. Neither did the police. No one had any right to any of my private information. And my civil rights have been violated. She's not held accountable. Why is the county not holding her accountable? You can't have someone just go hack into someone's life and rip down walls and tear into any information anywhere and then expect me just to be like, oh, I'm so happy. Oh, yay. Oh, you've taken my kids away. Oh, thank you so much. Because I always hated them anyway, because their dad has been amazing as a father. I mean, this is what I'm dealing with. This is a violation of my civil rights. The police doing that, Song doing that, Todd, my ex-husband, and then her filing it in court documents. And then it's like, oh, there was a strong smell in the apartment. I had already reported to maintenance that the garbage disposal wasn't working, so there was backed up and it smelled.
Hi, girl.
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
Good.
I just want to let you know that that is our recycling box bin only. Okay. The garbage is over there.
Okay, thank you.
I think my husband, did he call you?
Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. Oh, okay. So now we're on we're going to talk about the counselors, because as I stated before, the girls, Todd started this counseling with the girls last year, or no, 2017. On 12/12/2017, the girls stated therapy with current counselor Fred. Started current counseling. 10/19/2017, Todd. Oh, that's when Todd called Alelia stupid for spilling her soup. That's right. Okay, that was the wrong one. Anyways, with Counselor Fred, he has not returned my calls since 11/2017. I left 5 messages between 11/2017 and 7/2018. He never returned my calls. Alelia called this therapy Bash Mom Therapy. So then there's notes from Son, because now they're trying to be like, you don't have any rights. You don't have custody of your kids. Let's see. Oh, Fred from their counseling. He reports the girls. Hold on, I'm just trying to find where it says. Oh, because it's been like a dispute. So I had to go in there with a letter and be like, no, I have joint legal custody and full physical custody. I have custodial rights still. The state hasn't taken over. They don't have a reason to. They have no findings in their case. And they're trying to be like, what's this letter? We have no idea. This letter means nothing. Like, just belittle what I know and my knowledge. All right. Okay, Fred reported that the reason he has not called Tara back is because his understanding was that Todd had full legal and physical custody of the girls. So he was not obligated to call me. CPSW let him know that the department has placed the children with Todd under PS, whatever that means, but that legally Tara has full physical and joint legal custody of the girls. Song said that, the social worker. And now they're trying to tell me, no, you don't have any legal rights. Fred said he would call Tara back, but would not be able to discuss what they have talked about in therapy as it is an ethic violation. Oh, that was on 6/22/2018. You know, when I actually finally got a call back from Fred, was like, Song came up. She's like, do you want the counselor's number? And have you been able to talk to him? Was like November, whenever they wrote these letters. And so after a year of seeing my children and also being informed, because she documented it right here. This is another like case that I have. She documented it, that she told him point blank. And this is what like my lawyer just tried to tell me. No, the department has custody of your girls right now. You don't have custody. You don't have legal rights. When Song said right here, CPSW, Child Protection Social Worker, let him know that the department has placed the children with Todd under whatever, but that legally Tara has full physical and joint legal custody of the girls. Fred said that he would call Tara back. Fred never called me back until later. And then when he did, he was like, oh, I'm writing this letter. Why would my children not be around, allowed to see me? So I brought them a letter just a month ago that I wrote that I said, I don't want my kids treated at this place. I've been saying that since 2017 because I have joint legal custody. They claim to not know in April of 2019, even though June 22nd, 2018, Song Tao, the social worker, informed Fred that I have joint legal custody and full physical custody, even though I was just told yesterday that CPS, Child Protection, has custody over your children right now. You have no legal rights. This is not true. Song even wrote this in her notes, in her visit notes, right here. I mean, all the facts and everything are just thrown around. They try and go off of me being stupid or calling me crazy. Like, I don't know the facts and I don't have paperwork. Like, I don't document this stuff. Okay, we're going to go over some more dates. 11/21/2017, Domestic Abuse Project advocate called the Hennepin County Child Protection to report about Todd being violent with Ella Rose and scaring her and withholding food as a punishment. 11/21/2017. It was for Ella Rose reporting that Todd and Sarah held food from Ella Rose as a punishment, and that he also made her scared when I was coming to pick her up and tried to deny my parenting time. It was on actual that when it happened was 10/19/2017. Todd hit Ella Rose with his front door. He would not let her out of the door for parenting time with me and scared me and Ella Rose. 12/12 is when they did the counseling. 10/19/17, Todd called Alilia stupid for spilling soup. Alilia came home all sad and upset. And she's like, Mom, Dad called me stupid. And Ella Rose was like, yeah, Dad was really harsh on her. And he called her stupid. And if you remember in Ella Rose's letter, when she was like, Dad's really verbally harsh on Alilia. There's one example. May 27, 2018. Todd did not pick up Alilia at school. She sat for an hour and a half until I left work to pick her up. That's the second time that it happened that winter. Okay. Here is an order from August 31st, 2018. An order for CHIPS adjudication. All right, here's what I was to do. This was like, we did an admittance, admitted to work together on this, like to do everything. And the order states, because at this point they're like, all right, do the intake assessment, the psych eval, the MMPI, that was completed already in July with no findings of mental health. So right now, here's August 31st. I already completed that. They submitted their collateral, which, by the way, their collateral was already found on June 18th, 2018, in the initial investigation, that everything that was presented, their collateral, was already found to have no precedence. It was already found unfactual and untrue in the letter from Child Protection. And then every time I try and talk to someone about that, they're like, no, that's a child. That's a, blah, blah, blah. They try to be like, try and mix me up. And like, I talked to the supervisor and she's like, that's just from Child Protection. That's not from SONG. I'm like, what do you mean that's just from Child Protection? You are Child Protection. It's from one of your social workers. Well, that's not SONG. No, it's the person who did the investigation in the case that said there were no findings. There's no preponderance of evidence. So they're like proceeding with this on 8/31, and then they want to provide collateral when I did the 500 question MMPI. Well, the collateral was already deemed that it had no preponderance of evidence. So the due diligence was not done by anyone and has not been done. The diligence in checking and fact checking. So Tara's doing therapy, I have to do psych eval. Okay. I did that. I did both of them. I did the intake at the place that they referred me to. I've been going there since January. I've seen 2 people there multiple times. I've missed work. I've, whatever. But now we're going to trial when we already did an agreement, like a settlement agreement. So now we're advancing it to go to trial to transfer my parenting rights when I already completed everything that they asked. When in the beginning there was no preponderance of evidence to prove the claims initiated to open this case, that there was no evidence of that. And we have that letter, and I showed it on another video. I've had to give it to the county attorney, give it to my lawyer, and they're like, well, what is this letter? You keep showing us this letter. This letter doesn't mean anything. It means everything in the case. What are you talking about? Here's the letter that I brought to court stating that I've been seen, that I've been following that. They've also have already the MMPI from last July 2018 that I completed right away after the case was opened, even though I never should have, because the letter said there was no reason to have a hearing at all. Here are also, I did counseling too in 2017 and 2018 when the case opened at the same place I did the MMPI. And the girls and I also went there in 2012 too, after the divorce and the death of Ella Rose and Alilia's grandmother. So here's my records. I did counseling on 6/23/2017, 7/7/2017, 7/5/2017, 1/24, let's see, 2018, 6/20/2018, 6/21/2018, 7/9/2018, 8/7. So I'd already done the counseling they wanted me to do, even prior to this case even opening myself, because we were dealing with Todd for so long. And he was just just never following court orders, but trying to do things. And then the girls and I went to counseling after the divorce, like 5/22, 2012, 6/23, 2012, 7/10, 2012, 7/21, 2012, 8/4, 2012, 10/13, 2012, 10/27, 2012. That was me, Rose, and Alilia. And these are all things. It's like when we did the settlement, those are all things I had to complete: the counseling, the MMPI, and that. We've already done the visits. I should have been, the reunification process should have started. I already did everything they asked. I've been cooperative. But now I'm just at the point where when I meet with someone and they're like, well, you have a trial, but guess what? They've already decided, even though you've seen the judge on your supervised visits, and then they've decided that you've gotten worse because you don't like the injustice and you don't like the fact that you've jumped through other hoops and it's still not good enough. So now we're blaming all of our actions on you, and we're going to trial. And they've already decided before the trial that there will be transfer. You will lose all your rights to your children. It's all going to be transferred to Todd, the person that has put us through hell for years, that hasn't done anything for the girls, that has neglected them, hasn't gone to the doctor, anything. I mean, the person that on February 2nd, 2011, here's an order for protection that I had on Todd after his arrest. August 20th, 2010, emergency ex parte order for protection on Todd that was good for 2 years. And Todd had supervised visits. And then again, it was renewed on February 2nd, 2011. With the girls at home, it was a crime with children present. So there's that. So this was this person. And then I'm like, why are you continuing his violence? Why are you empowering a violent person? This has nothing to do with the domestic case. This isn't empowering the violence. Oh, it's not? Okay. I guess I'm wrong then. Sorry. I haven't been in this for years. I'm not an expert in my own situation. Here's where on my parenting time on June 3rd, 2018, June 4th, 2018, Todd denied my parenting time and wouldn't allow me to pick up the girls. He kept them home from school and hid them from me for 2 days. There's the police reports for that. My dad went to his house one day with the police. I went the next day, and they were hidden from school. Couldn't find them. I had to chase down my kids, like track them down. These are 6/15, my birthday, 2018. Todd calls the police on me because I got upset on the phone because he informs me that without my input at all, he's moving the girls' schools. And Alilia's like, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm moving school districts. Even though they just did the last year where Todd never showed up for anything. Then again, on 6/25, he calls the police on me to do a well check, even though I never threatened harm to myself. At that point, I'd already seen professionals, and we were like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with her. And yeah, so there's all our police notes. So he's denying my parenting time, creating this whole drama in this case where I'm like the school, starting from this. Then I talked to my aunt on 6/19/2018. She saw the girls. And this is something interesting because this has happened before when I tried to date someone and some of this stuff had happened. And he's like, well, I date you for a year and I get a lake home. And I'm like, excuse me, what? And there's some undercurrents of the same thing going on. So this is why this has piqued my interest. It's interesting. So June 19th, 2018, I saw Ella Rose and Alilia at Grandma Jane's on Saturday, June 16th, 2018. They mentioned their father was buying a house on the lake and saved up $600,000 to buy it. And that's from my Aunt Dawn. How does a man who's been unemployed for 5 years save up $600,000 to suddenly buy a giant lake home when he owes $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 in arrears for childcare? And this is what someone I had dated literally in 2016 when there had been just other undercurrents that have connected to Todd because there's a pattern. when they say, oh, yeah, I'll get a lake home if I date you for a year. And then Todd's saying, I'm going to get a lake home after he had just succeeded in getting a child protection case open and getting temporary custody of my children. So this was alarming to me, and it piqued my interest. Huge. Big time. So my aunt's like, where the hell is Todd going to get a $600,000, like a $500,000 lake home suddenly, now that he has temporary custody of the kids and stuff, when I'd heard that before? This is a text message from my brother to my dad on June 5th, Tuesday, 8:35 p.m. It said, I never made it all the way to Tara because when I spoke to her, I was 30 miles away and she told me she wasn't able to go. So that's proving right there that I was allowed to initially go, because they're having this person come and testify during trial, and it's going to be all lies. And then I have to prove it. And like my mom and my ex-husband violated my HIPAA rights and had information on me when I had never given a release from this doctor's office to give them any information. And then they're going to have this person come and testify in trial. Does anyone smell anything bad here? Am I the only one that's just like, what? Like, does anyone see truth, facts, law, logic, and justice, like fairness, fair and balance here? Already we have a child protection worker telling the counselors, yes, you have to talk to Tara. She has full physical custody and joint legal custody. And then we go down the line. And now yesterday someone tells me, no, the county has custody. You don't have any rights, even though the social worker has documented that, yeah, Tara has these rights. Now they're telling me I don't have any. And then they're telling me, oh, by the way, on Thursday, we're going to pretend to do like the procedure, legal procedures, but it's already been decided that they're transferring your parenting rights because you've gotten worse. Have I gotten worse? Their own paperwork, their own documentation. I mean, their own orders. When the order says, like, I can't do anything right because everything I do, even if it's not in an order, the social worker goes and files an order to put it in the order, so then I can't do it. To like literally every time I try and assert my rights as a parent, nope, done. I mean, so now the current order, actually the one prior to this, because I had it changed, now it excludes my oldest daughter. So I'm like alienated from her life completely. The state has literally aborted me from my oldest daughter. Illegally, when I've done nothing, absolutely nothing. And there's proof of that. And the child protection worker, Amanda Hunter, wrote a letter on June 18th, 2018 that said there is no preponderance of evidence to support any of the claims in the initial report to child protection. There is a need for child protection. A worker will be in contact with you. It didn't say there will be a hearing on ... A need for child protection means that they might come visit you in their home. And then I talk to people and they try and like this back to me, like try and bully me, be like, no, Tara, that means this. You don't know the law. Yeah, I do. I've been doing this for 10 years. I know what my rights are. Don't try and bully me and then try and make me look like I'm unstable or angry. I'm angry because I'm the only one that's held accountable for anything. I'm the only one that's held to the law. I'm the only one that's constantly under the microscope, and everyone else can judge me and then alienate me from my kids, whom I've been the one to love and protect them for years. And I have all this stuff, like all this paperwork, tons and tons of letters from Elrose, paperwork, documentation, everything, you name it, we've done it, we have it. Okay. A couple more emails to read, at least. But this is all stuff that I'm just preparing for the trial. I'm going to give to my lawyer because he can watch it, because it's like one thing for me to be like, and then there's this and that, when he doesn't know the case as well as I do, obviously. Okay. Hello, Mr. Wilson. I am writing on behalf of Tara McKennis. My married last name was different, obviously. Who had reached out to me over the weekend with regard to her daughter, Ella Rose. She briefly explained the situation she has been put in with her ex-husband, Todd, and had wondered if I would be willing to write a letter to you. For reference, I was Ella Rose's big sister via the Big Brother, Big Sister program. I spent a year formally as her big, and then subsequent years seeing her as a friend outside of the program. I explained to Tara that while Ella Rose never slandered her father in conversation to me, that she did mention that she felt he was hard on her, and she felt unable to tell him how she really felt about her dreams and achievements in school. While this lends very little insight to my very little to my insight of Todd's personality, what I really want to share is Tara's commitment to her girls. They are her world, as she would do anything for them, which I feel she demonstrated during my visit. Visiting with her and the children, Ella Rose always spoke highly of her mother and how much she did for the girls, and it seemed as though they had an incredible bond. I do not wish to insert myself into a place I don't belong, but I have really cared about Ella Rose and her mom and felt this message was warranted. Please feel free to contact me if you'd like to chat further. Thank you. And that's Meredith, the one who told me about Ella Rose having 103 temperature after being at Todd's house, and he had neglected that. She is a Penn State graduate. She's a corporate executive, a very successful woman, a mother herself, a trained mandated reporter with Big Brother, Big Sister. She'd been in our home, started when Ella Rose was like 8 in 2013. The last time we saw her was when she came to volleyball with us when we moved out to Minnetonka in fall of 2017, like October 15th or something, 2017. And I reached out to her and asked her, I'm like, will you please just keep in contact with Ella Rose? Like, I really think she needs you right now and her support, your support. You know, here's what's going on. I'm devastated. I feel sick all day, every day. Like, I don't know just what they're putting before me and doing to me and the girls is evil. It is truly evil. And what happened today, even just because I'm crying and Lily is sitting there looking at me and we're eating the food I brought for breakfast. And I was just like, Lilia, after a while, like I'm trying to stop crying and I couldn't stop. And I'm like, here's what's going on. I'm just really sad. You know, we have this court coming up and I'm really scared and sad. I have my stomach feels sick. And I was just, and I said, this is evil. And that's it. And then the social worker's like, that's it. And gets on the phone. I'm calling her stepmom. This visit's over. You can't talk about court. All I said was I'm scared and this is evil. Is this friendly? Is this nice? No, it's evil. There's nothing wrong with telling your feelings. When the girls and I went to counseling back in 2012 to try and deal with the divorce and everything, and like the girl's mom, Todd's mom, getting cancer. I mean, she had stage 4 lung cancer, and Todd and his mom and dad were like, no, Nana's going to be fine. Don't worry. She'll be better. You'll go shopping at the Mall of America. And I was telling Ella Rose, honey, you know, you should really talk to Nana and talk to her about everything you want to talk to her about. Like maybe get your favorite recipes from her, you know, because you don't know how this is going to turn out. And she's like, no, Mom, Nana's going to be fine. I don't need to do that. And I said, no, Ella Rose, really, because I knew she had stage 4 lung cancer. It had metastasized to her bones. This is the second time it came back with a vengeance. She died within 6 weeks. And they're telling her, no, Nana's going to be fine. In a couple weeks, you'll be shopping at the Mall of America. You don't tell an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old that. So we went to counseling. The counselor's like, what you do is you tell your children the truth, even if it's hard. You talk about feelings. You talk about things. This is the stuff. And then they'd have this person wanted to give me parenting classes. I've worked as a teacher. I've done 5 years of early childhood education with my daughters in South Washington County schools. I worked as a teacher in South Washington County schools, Woodbury schools, and Minnetonka School District. I've trained. I've done everything. I've worked as a TA in graduate school and taught graduate students and undergraduate students. I mean, and I haven't done anything in this case. And it just keeps building and building and escalating to the point now where they want to transfer my parenting rights. Oh, they've already decided. I've been told. And I'm supposed to keep it together? I've lost everything. I have nothing. I want my daughters. There's nothing else that I want. I love them more than anything. I don't want anything else or anyone else. And this is what I'm dealing with. And I'm treated like crap. These people, these professional people think they can just start yelling at me because I ask questions that are valid and they don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to be held accountable. I'm the only one that's going to they want to be held accountable. I mean, seriously, here's more. This is from my first lawyer. sorry for skipping around a little bit, but like there's so many documents here and I'm trying to organize them all for my lawyer and I'm trying to get them ready to give to him and also prepare this for him because quite frankly, I honestly don't think that I could go through this trial because this morning my hand was shaking like this because of just injustice and this anger and what I would yesterday told, oh, guess what? The judge has already decided that he's transferring your rights to your ex-husband without even hearing this trial, which he said, oh, this is to get the facts. So we're going to pretend that we're doing our due diligence and having the doing the legal stuff, but we're actually not because, I saw the judge at our supervised visit, which like, oh, wait, okay, that's not kind of creepy. I mean, honestly, it's like, so you're being watched, but you're supposed to be like all these people are watching you and critiquing everything you do. And like I say one thing to my daughter, like when she dives off the diving board, I'm like, oh, try and straighten out a little bit, try and do this. And this woman's in the pool with us and I hear her go, oh, she's really hard on her. Or like at gymnastics when I'm like, Lilia, do it again, do 3 more times and land that on the balance beam. Because we've been working on that. Last year, I had her working towards a competition team. We went twice a week. She wants that. She wants to be on a competition team. So I go and I'm like, yeah, do that again, do it again. Come on, you can do it. Yay, good job. And I tell her, you're doing awesome. And it's like people think I'm being hard on them. You push them. I know she can do that. Like, I know that's what she wants. She's competitive. And when she's driven and when she wants something, like Ella Rose said in her letter, she'll get it. So this is from my last lawyer to the county attorney. Dear Miss Nicholson, it's pretty clear that we are getting conflicting reports from child protection social worker and Miss McKennis. Miss McKennis reports that she has left return messages for CPSW song and then does not get a response on a timely basis. Ms. McKenna states that she has not changed telephone numbers or text addresses, so all communication should continue to those numbers previously supplied to the CPSW office. I'm concerned about the CPSW in this case because when I asked her about her involvement or knowledge of my client's husband changing schools without at least advising my office, that's my lawyer who was from the beginning of this case, Song stated that she could not communicate with me as the attorney for my client. I do not believe that it to be accurate and seemed unduly evasive. Ms. McKenna has stated that every time over the last couple of months she has attempted to gain assistance from the CPSW that workers have elected to side with the father of the children on supervised visit time, telephone access, or working on some access with the older child. I have advised my client that she must make every effort to work with Song or the other assigned workers if she is to have access at reunification, successive reunification, which I have done and I have documentation of. Please advise my office or of the contact information for the mental health worker who is to be assigned to Ms. McKenna so that I may advise her of this information and encourage her timely involvement, which at this point I had already done counseling. This was on September 15th, 2018 at 9:49 a.m. At this point, I had already done the MMPI, the psychiatric eval, and counseling at the place that the girls and I had went to years prior. So then they wanted me to go do more. And that was in the settlement agreement. So I'd already done half of that. I appreciate you advising me the concerns on communication. Would request continuing updates if there are any concerns raised by the GAL or the CPSW in this case. Thank you. Well, this is another time after I talked to Song, the CPSW, Child Protection Social Worker. Hi, I said to my lawyer, because Song was like, I said, hello, Song said that we can ask for unsupervised visits now before court. I want the girls back ASAP. Since there is no legal issues on the county's part, like no abuse or neglect, and I am not a threat to myself or anyone, why do we need to continue to have supervised visits? That is what I would like to question right now. I met with Ella Rose's counselor today to work on reuniting us ASAP, as it has now been 6 months and this is pure games. This was on October 11th, 2018. So finally, a year after I called him 5 times and Song told him in June that I had joint legal custody and sole physical custody. He finally got back to me and then right away, boom, writes a letter. No, Ella Rose doesn't want to see your mom. All I was asking was for me and Ella Rose and Lilia to have counseling together. I've been asking that since the beginning. Like, why make this some big fear thing? Why do that? Why? I haven't done anything to my kids. Then my lawyer says, "Good morning, Ms. McKennis. I have forwarded your request for unsupervised visit to the county attorney in charge of your case. In the meantime, your mail is not being forwarded." Okay. That was on 10/12/2018. So Song like tells me, "Oh, you can ask for unsupervised visits." And then my lawyer's like, who told you that? Who told you that? And then Song tells me, "Oh, well, they just had a phone conference about you and your case. Didn't your lawyer tell you?" I'm like, "No." So I asked my lawyer, I'm like, "Did you have a phone conference without telling me at all?" And he comes back, he's like, "No, who told you that we did?" I said, "Oh, Song." I mean, these are the games that we're playing. This is more proof on Todd violating the HIPAA rights. And this, again, is someone they're going to have testify in trial. And this is from my dad. "Dear Ms. Delp, as you know, Tara has authorized me, Lino, to have access to information pertaining to her file. Please put a printout of the attached screenshot in the file. Please confirm as to that Tara's ex-husband, Todd, categorically had no knowledge of, and that categorically he had no access to his statements and the text from this facility. We had discussed that Tara's mom called in asking seemingly procedures on how one is brought in and when that transpires. At no time has Tara authorized anyone, including mom, to have access to this private information except myself. At no time did any staff speak to or to divulge the information described in the text from ex-husband to please correct or confirm." And this nurse did confirm that Pam, the nurse, did give out, Todd called in to get information, and she did give out my personal patient information, which is a violation of HIPAA rights, obviously. This is a text from Todd on June 1st, Friday, to my dad. "Lino, please support Tara in this situation. She needs help and needs the meds. They are not releasing her today. It has been changed because of the amount of delusions and hallucinations," respectfully explaining. What delusions, hallucinations have I had? I haven't had any. I had already seen the doctor at this point. He's like, "You seem fine. You're free to go. My ride was there. I'm sure they will provide you with specifics," being her father. "She needs this, and her children need her mental stability." This is absolutely ridiculous. "Please let her have this time." I mean, so right there, my Todd totally convicted himself of getting information about me that I had not given a release for and violating my HIPAA rights. And now he's used this whole court, because this clinic that is going to come testify, they violated my HIPAA rights. And this case spiraled out of control from that, Todd using that. So there, again, another law that's been broken by Todd and another clinic. And then we have Todd and the police and Song, the CPSW. And then we have all these people. But I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to stay calm and stay sane when they're just already like, "Nope, your kids are already transferred to their dad. They're going to live happily ever after, and you can be alone and no one gives a shit. We don't care. We're just going to call you the crazy, delusional, angry person that you are and just not tell the truth. We're going to convict, basically, an innocent person of abusing her children when I haven't done anything except for love them and protect them and provide them medical care and good schooling and making sure their homework's done and being their room mom and their PTO mom and paying for all their extracurriculars and paying for their daycare when Todd never paid, for a man that hasn't worked in 5 years." And I mean, God, I've been dealing with this forever. And it, like, transferring my parenting rights to him is not going to make me happy or anyone else or my girls, because they're not in a safe situation and they've never been heard, and their feelings are not okay, I guess, to talk about with child protection. So it says Ms. McKennis will engage in parenting education. I already did that with Morgan, the first visit supervisor. Oh, and then the CPS supervisor, Song supervisor, tried to say that they've had 4 different visit supervisors because of me being upset with the supervisor. That's not true. Morgan, our first visit supervisor, had a change in schedule. We used to do Sundays. Then it didn't work for her. We had her for like up until at least November, for like 6 months. Okay, then we got another person who was just filled in for 2 times. Then we had this woman, Rachel, who we liked, but then she had a schedule change. So we had another in-between person. And now we have this woman who's been fine. But it's like, if I try and talk to my kids about like, yeah, this is coming up, or I'm sad, I'm crying. And then because I'm being convicted of something I didn't do, and I have to have parenting classes again, even though I've already completed them, even though I've worked in the school district and been a teacher and done 5 years, like I have early childhood parent education credit classes, and there's no findings of any preponderance of evidence in this case from a letter from Hennepin County Child Protection, Amanda Hunter, dated June 18th, 2018, who did the initial investigation for this case that Song is working on, that I also got yelled at by Song's supervisor being like, this is ridiculous. I don't know what this letter is. This is some Amanda lady. And I have this conversation recorded. I'm like, this is your worker. This is a CPS worker with your office. What are you talking about? This is ridiculous. It's your worker. Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Do any of these people know what? I mean, honest to God. You have to advocate for yourself, and sometimes you have to raise your voice. And this makes me so angry. So then so I got into some of the history about Alilia's visual condition, right? And I showed you how Todd never came to the doctor, how we had the diagnosis since 2013. In 2015, he claimed he had no idea he needed to patch her 2 hours a day, even though we were already doing it for 2 years. And then so when he switched Alilia to the new school district in August, I said, you have to bring all her documents and make sure you tell the teacher and the principal and the school about everything that we've been dealing with, for years. Yeah. Okay. So August, September, October, finally, he hadn't done it yet. He didn't inform the school of her visual conditions. 2 months into a new school district with a new teacher. You have to get on that right away. Time is ticking. Like already you're into her getting grades. She's falling behind again. How does that not ring to a parent as number one importance? So finally, I emailed the teacher and I was like, hi, I'm Alilia's mom. I want to introduce myself. I have documentation I need to give you. I gave him a complete history of everything that we've been through and Alilia's medical diagnosis. So I bring that in there to the office. I talked to the teacher. I had a conference with the teacher. I talked to the principal. I gave them all the documentation. I told them, and then Todd couldn't even tell them what they had done the prior year for treatment and what Alilia had done like for extra help and everything. He had no idea. So I had to tell them everything. Like she did this, she did that. He's like, oh, well, Todd's trying to email the teacher from last year. I'm like, well, I can tell you right now what she did because I was there and I was the room mom. She did this, she did that, she did this and this. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, Todd doesn't know anything. I am the full physical custodian. And by the way, here's a letter saying that I haven't abused my kids because this is defamation of my character. I am being lied about. And have we done our due diligence in this case? So that's when Song, and then I dropped lunch off at the office. And that's when Song was like, oh my God, the order said you can't go to their school. And I said, no, that's not what the order said. It said I couldn't go to I had to ask the Child Protection if I could go to their extracurricular activities 24 hours before. I didn't go to their extracurricular activities. I hadn't been to an extracurricular activity since school year of 2017, 2018 when they're at Minnetonka, when they're still living in my home. But yet the judge didn't check that, changed the order because he just took Song's word for it. It wasn't fair or balanced. He didn't do diligence. He didn't ask my lawyer to ask me if I went to an extracurricular. No one checked that. They just, boom, done. New order. Tara can't go to their schools at all. Now she can't go to any extracurriculars and she can't go to their schools at all. For informing Alilia's teacher that she has a medical condition and helping my child with her schooling because Todd had no idea. I got punished for that. And then I tried to send a letter to the judge to inform him of all this stuff happening. And then how in court, you get this, and then they twist everything. Like one time I told Song, I lost my phone. In court, she's like, I haven't been able to get a hold of Tara. She's not cooperating with the department, That's what she tells the judge. Afterwards, I went up to her, I said, I told you I lost my phone. Why would you twist it out of control and lie? I'm like, you lied in court under oath. And she just doesn't say anything. She just stares at me. Like, what's wrong with you? Why do you just stare at me just some weird way? I mean, when you're lying to the judge. So then that's when they, then they said I wasn't, because I didn't go to the counseling. I missed one day at this Hennepin County place they referred me to, even though I had already done the counseling and the MMPI. So I didn't go. So then that's when they filed a motion to transfer my parenting rights, because I missed one day because I wasn't able to make it, and I rescheduled and went. But they're saying I wasn't cooperating when in July with child protection. When in July I did the MMPI and completed that. And then I did counseling there too. And I was seen here. This is what they're saying. So I completed the MMPI in July. So I already fulfilled that. I was seen on June 23rd, June 30th, July 7th, July 25th. June 20th, June 21st. The psychological testing was on June 21st, 2018. I completed that. So within weeks, like the case was open on June 4th. So within about 2 weeks, I completed the psychological testing. And they're telling me now the last order the judge approved to transfer my parenting rights was because they claimed I wasn't complying with the department. June 21st, Thursday, 2018, 5 p.m., psychological testing. Seen again, July 9th. And then, I mean, all these dates. So there's 1, 2, 3. At least 4 dates there. I did see another counselor in between in the winter, but it was just like I went in there and it was like, I don't know exactly what they want you to do a psychiatric eval. And she's like, oh no, I don't think you need that. You just need counseling. And I went back and I said to my lawyer, like, I don't know exactly what I need. And then someone was like, yeah, it can be confusing. And then he told Miss Nicholson, like, oh, she's confused at what you need because she already did the psychiatric and the MMPI. She's done the counseling. Like, what else do you need? And I've done all this stuff. All of it done at Minnesota Mental Health. And I share this information because, you know what, it's like, it's out there already. I mean, he says things about me and then I'm done with being lied about, basically. Anyway, thanks. Let's see, I think, and then I continued counseling. I did go somewhere and I have the documents actually. So the counseling and what the current order, whether they're trying to transfer rights. I also did go on December 13th, 2018 to another woman. And then on January 4th, 2019. And I had other counseling set up. But it was like, when I went there, she's like, I don't know exactly what you need. And I said, I don't really know what I need either. I mean, I'm just trying to follow the court order, but it's confusing. And then, I tried to talk to Song and my lawyer, and they're both like, yeah, it is confusing. Well, and then boom, another order. Thank you. Anyway, I'm getting comments. So that's all I have for now. I know this has been a lot of talking, but this is going to my lawyer because I'm going to present him with all these documents for the trial, which we're having, even though it's already been apparently decided that they're transferring my parenting rights to my ex-husband, which I don't know why, and I don't see any legal or factual evidence to support that because I have all these documents. I have where proving that the judge hasn't done his diligence, neither has the county attorney. The social worker can just say anything and they take it and run, and same with Todd. I've proven that I shouldn't lose my parenting rights at all, and I shouldn't lose it to him, and I shouldn't have supervised visits. And they shouldn't rip me away from my daughter because I'm crying and I say, you know what, I'm scared about court. I'm sad. I'm sad about what's happening. I miss you. I miss Ella Rose. I love you. How's Ella Rose? And I'm crying. And then that's it. We're ending this visit. I'm like, what? You can't talk about, I can't talk about feelings with my daughter. This is my daughter. No, I'm calling her stepmom. So I'm basically dead to my children now. The county has killed my relationship with my children. This is against Minnesota state law. They're supposed to put families back together, not completely separate them and create a violent, dramatic separation. And to a man who's not a U.S. citizen, who has violent convictions, who started out being arrested for a violent crime with a weapon with the children present, he had supervised visits, and then I've had full physical custody. But now suddenly he's the super father, Superman, and I'm the horrible person. It's like I'm the one that has the conviction. They've convicted me, and this is defamation of my character. This is a violation of my civil rights via the police, via Song, via Todd, my HIPAA rights, the police getting information that's private, Song using it in the court records. Like I've shown all these documents and I have them. And I will be moving forward in every legal way possible to hold these people accountable, because injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. So it happens to me, it's going to happen to someone else. It's going to happen to someone else's kids. It's already happening. This is not new, but it's not okay. And it can't just happen this way. They make it impossible. I've done everything and followed their orders, and they are making it absolutely impossible for me to get my girls. And I haven't done anything. I don't need supervised visits. And people just need to be honest and truthful and follow the law and do their due diligence and not hold an innocent person accountable for things that are out of my control and laws that aren't being followed. And the due process has not been followed. They're going to pretend to have due process to cover their butts, but then be like, no, it's already been decided. It's your parenting rights are going to be transferred. You're acting up. What parent wouldn't be acting up and be livid at all of this and be sad and angry and cry and swear and lash out? And I can't do that. Like a woman can't have emotions that aren't sweet and kind and soft and gentle and quiet. I mean, those are double standards in our society. And I love you girls. I love my girls more than anything. And they're everything to me. Well, I also was just reminded of when my First Amendment rights were violated by our parenting consultant. I'll have to find that too. When he's like, Tara has to take down this change.org petition to have Todd deported. Right there. That's a violation of my First Amendment rights and freedom of speech. And that's what Todd had Alilia call me. And he's now trying to play this recording in court. Like, Tara was yelling at Alilia. And because Alilia's like, Mom, take this YouTube video down. You're making Dad look bad. I'm like, I'm making Dad look bad? Why are we worried about Dad? Look what he's doing to me. How do you think this makes me look? My children have been taken out of the home. I can't forget the past. My children are my life. There's nothing else I want. And there's no future. I'm not going to forget the past, because the past is still happening because no one took care of it legally. And so therefore, I am living the consequences of everyone else's failure to American society, to citizens, and the state of Minnesota, because they haven't protected me and my daughters, and they didn't deport this man when they should have. If they would have, we would not be in this situation. So that's what, because someone's saying, forget the past, enjoy your life. How am I supposed to enjoy it when the joy of my life has been given to the wizard? That's how I feel. And he's been after us since that forever. Anyways, so yeah, that's when my First Amendment rights were violated. All this to protect Todd. Why is the state so adamant at making me look crazy and sound crazy and be crazy, and so adamant to protect Todd, who is not a United States citizen, who has committed 2 violent crimes? Is it because against women and children? It doesn't matter. I mean, the tons and mountains of emails and documents, and no one should have to live like this, and no one should be treated like this. Okay, that's what I have right now. Thank you. Goodbye. Thanks for your comments.